And so anybody that missed the webinar will be able to view it on YouTube after the fact. Usually it takes about a day to get that up, and we usually post it to our Facebook page and Twitter and so on. You'll also get an email within a day or two, and the link will be in there in case you don't go to our Facebook page and look for it. I can't slow down, so if you're having any connection problems or you can't hear, unfortunately you'll have to probably just review the webinar after the fact. Sometimes we have problems with GoToMeeting. It's one of the premier services out there, but there are times where there are technical issues and we're not able to resolve them. So if that's the case, definitely just note that we have recorded the webinar, and so you'll have that access to that after the fact. If you have any questions, please put those questions into the little questions box. You should be able to pop that out of your navigation, and you can post a question in there, and then if you have any, you can send privately or send to all. And then also, if you have any reason, if there's any reason why you wouldn't want to share the question, just let me know. But otherwise, I'll probably pick off questions and try to time the answers so that it has to do with whatever I'm reviewing at the time. I may jump around if there's a question that is really important and a great question. I may just address it as well, even if it's not part of what I'm talking about at the time. We have a lot of content to cover in a short period of time, so I'm pretty excited about this. This is one of our first Platinum WordPress webinars in some time, and the plugin has gotten progressively better over time. We now have short codes available. There's some very sophisticated SEO options available through Platinum that I think a lot of WordPress users may not be aware of. And so I want to definitely cover all of that, and I'll try to cover in as much detail as possible without either confusing people or just getting to get those glassy eyes at the desk. So I'll do my best to keep things moving at a good pace so we can get through all this stuff. But just note also that IDX Broker Platinum is a fairly technical product. That's why we probably have I know that we have some people on the call who are developers who are trying to create, they're going to want to create a solution for their clients that's very sophisticated. But if you just want to start with kind of the basics, I'm going to give you an overview of that so you understand the whole concept of IDX Broker Platinum and the IDX Broker Platinum WordPress plugin. So let's start with the widgets and really how the widgets. Let's go to the plugin here. There we go. Actually, I'll start at the top with the API and the API key and how that works. So let's assume that you've gone into WordPress, you've gone to plugins, and you've done a search for. And of course, if you have a second monitor, you can always follow along. And you've gone to plugins and then typed in IDX Broker Platinum. You come up with the page, you download it, and then you get it into your WordPress installation. Now we have a little test WordPress installation that we use. Usually our support staff uses this just to get in and kind of play around and test things out. I'm using it for the demo here. And basically what you do is when you get an IDX Broker account, you'll get an API key. And that API key gives you access to all the links. Basically you plug that key in here, and that API key gives the plugin access to all of your links and widgets and shortcodes and so on. Okay, so that's kind of how that works, the API key. And I'm going to back up a little bit more, even just to give an overview of how the plugin actually works and how it's different. So the way IDX Broker Platinum works and the plugin works, it's taking the things like widgets, and widgets are let's take a look at an example. So this is an example of a widget where you drag and drop something onto the page. If we go here and we go to widgets, it'll load up the widgets, and basically these IDX Broker widgets show up in your widgets tab, and then you drag and drop them in. So widgets are very similar to the links that are also provided in IDX Broker in the plugin, in that, and I'll go back to the plugin, in that we're pulling, you're basically pulling data and information, links into your WordPress database. So we're not actually going to build a page within WordPress or in a subfolder within WordPress. That's just not how the plugin works. And the reason for that is because this gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility. When our system can create the page, you have a tremendous amount of flexibility in terms of how you can change the design or changes that you would like to make to the overall design of that page without affecting your overall site or without having to go in and customize the theme and so on. So it keeps the IDX piece somewhat independent from your website, but also gives you the flexibility to customize that. And we built it that way on purpose because it's much easier to simply, go in and add links than it is to have to remember, specific search phrases within a short code and how to pull in results into your pages. We just create all those, make all those pages available to you. And so as you can see here, you've got the widgets. First step after you created the API, you can go in here and add the widgets, and then you can add navigation items. Okay, navigation just puts it all up into your header in the navigation. If you've created any custom links, like, and I'll show you the custom links and how that works, things with, it might be a neighborhood search or so on, those would show up here as well and then be available in the navigation. So I showed you briefly how the widgets tab works. I want to show you the navigation and really how the navigation works. Basically, with I think 3.5 in WordPress, there was an update that created a custom menus option, and this is really the best way to manage the WordPress is through these custom menus and give the basically creating a page or pages by adding them to your menu. And in this case, I'm adding a duplicate, but when you create a page, actually let's remove that and create something better here. Let's add a basic search. So these are most recent. I can also choose from all, so I can view all the IDX links that have been created. And the way that these are created, or these show up as soon as I create a under settings. If I go in there under IDX Broker Platinum, I go to settings. Interesting. There's I don't know if that must be a Chrome problem. There we go. So yeah, there seems to be some problem with Chrome and WordPress. So if I go back to IDX Broker Platinum, and then I add pages, listing details, featured virtual tours, something like that. Let's add the email update sign up form. So I go in here, I add the links, and then from there I'm going to go to appearance and then menus. And from the menus tab, what I want to do is create I want to create a page called email update sign up. Okay, and I want to create it in my custom menu here. So now it's going to show up here, email update sign up. I can change the name if I wanted. You can change the name, like sign up for email updates or sign up for listing alerts or anything along those lines. I'm just going to leave it as is, save the menu, and this is my main menu, and this is what I have displayed. And then if I go here, actually this is the wrapper, so let me go back to, I'll just go to visit site. I'll cover the wrapper in a bit, and the dynamic wrapper specifically, because it's pretty amazing. So if I go here, now I have email update sign up. You can see it's up in the navigation there. And just for the record, this theme, I think it's 2013. It's one of the standard themes. IDX Broker Platinum works with any theme, so you can use any theme to do this. And we do have some themes that, like Turnkey through Agent Evolution, has been fully integrated with IDX Broker. They created their own special pages and so on. That's an option. There's also Agent Press. We have a lot of knowledge or information about Agent Press and how that works with IDX Broker in our knowledge base. But generally, you can take almost nearly any theme with IDX Broker, and it works with IDX Broker and IDX Broker Platinum. So here now we have our email update sign up page, right? So now I go to that link, and as you can see, because I've set up a dynamic wrapper, and again, I'll show you how the dynamic wrapper works later. This is now hosted on, this page is IDX Broker. This is the page created by our system. Now you have your email update sign up form. Now I'm going to go in here and wrappers. And because I made a change, again, I'll cover this in a minute, but because I made a change, the navigation item didn't show up on the IDX Broker pages. So anytime you, again, I'll address the dynamic wrapper in a minute, but now it's on the in the navigation. So now we have our sign up, right? And as you can see, the way it works, the way IDX Broker works, it's taking, even though it's hosted on the IDX Broker, and you can customize this. I'll get into that a little bit later with the SEO. But even though you've got it hosted on IDX Broker, it matches the colors. The buttons are, match the colors of your website because IDX Broker tends to adopt the CSS from your website and display really out of the box. It's a pretty good integration in terms of giving you pages and links that work out of the box without you having to go in and, again, customize forms or create forms or remember shortcodes, things like that. It's all done just via the links that are automatically provided. So then if you want to go here, then it goes, next step. So someone has to sign up before they can move on. This is a very popular link, by the way. So some people miss this in their links. Don't see this in the menu option or when adding it to the WordPress plugin. But this is a great tool. So that's how the menu is configured, and especially when you have a custom menu. So it isn't just a matter of adding. You don't want to just add the link here. You also want to go into the custom menu and customize your menu. And I would recommend that for everyone, for any menu that you create. The custom menu feature in WordPress is very powerful. So the other thing is neighborhood or navigation links. So those would show up as well. So very similar. So if you have Eugene Home Search, and if you want to add it, you just click the links here, save changes, and then those links will show up. Okay. So let's take a look at, and just for the record, that all that is available, all this information is available from your API key. So when we set up your account, you get the account created, there are a bunch of system navigation links that are created. The special navigation links, the custom links, haven't been created. You actually go into IDX Broker and create those links. So you can create all kinds of links with search-friendly keywords, Eugene Home Search, whatever, and then you can modify the URLs of those links as well. So you're doing that outside of WordPress, that piece. This piece, these links are created, again, automatically for you, as are the widgets. Now, the widgets you can also add, so there's a default set of widgets, and then there's also custom widgets that you can add. And again, I'll show you the custom widgets and how that works in a minute. But I wanted to give you an overview of really how IDX Broker works. So another feature, another part of IDX Broker that's really important for people, and whether you're a developer, designer, or not, is this concept of a dynamic wrapper. And what the dynamic wrapper does is really all you have to do is create a page in WordPress. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. Create a page or a post in WordPress. typically a page. I created a post, but typically you would do it as a page. And as you can see, if I go home here, the advantage, again, of a page is that the page could be hidden. And so you want to create a page that's really kind of hidden from navigation and what have you, because it's going to be the basis for your IDX pages. Okay, and it will allow you to, anytime you make changes to WordPress, to your navigation or your theme or what have you, it will be automatically. It will make sure that it ensure that your IDX pages get updated. So I'm going to show you how that works. So here in home search, I've created a post, and again, page is better, but in this case, I'm using a post. And what I did was I went to a knowledge base article. And for those of you unfamiliar with our knowledge base, it's very powerful. We have a tremendous amount. We have 300 and some articles total for Platinum. And there's some very detailed information here about how to set up things, and in this case, how to set up a start and stop tag or page for the dynamic wrapper. Now, this is all copyable, so you can. I'll actually post this. Let me put this in chat. So for those of you that want to read about it, you can do that now. But what this does is, if you copy and paste this little start and stop tag in, and I go here, and if I can find the post, there it is. So in this case, I've put the start tag here, and then the stop tag after the little shortcode widget, and I'll cover shortcodes in a minute as well. Again, there's a lot to cover, but I want to try to show you some of the primary features first and high-level features. So start tag, stop tag, update, and now I've got my page. Okay. So now I've got the page that's called testing shortcodes, and let's go. There's the page right there, or post. Testing shortcodes. And so I find that post, and for that post or page, what I've done is I've changed the title to home search, or I've changed the title to something that kind of makes sense for IDX search. So all of my IDX search pages are going to have this type of page, this title above the page. And so then when I go, let's go back here. So we've got home search. And then I'm going to go into the wrappers page in IDX Broker. So I've logged into IDX Broker. Let's say I go to the dashboard. That's what I see when I first log into IDX Broker. And then I'm going to go to Designs, Wrappers. I'm going to choose the dynamic wrapper, and I'm just going to paste that URL in. Okay. So in this case, you can take this out, but our system will automatically take that out. So now I've saved the changes, and so there's this little feature called the static wrapper cache, clear static wrapper cache, and what that does is basically, actually before I hit that, I want to show you exactly what happened here. So I've created this page. That's great, right? This is on my website, and now I'm going to go to email update sign up and click on that. Now all of a sudden, all my IDX pages, actually let me show you how it's going to look if I don't do that. And that way you can get a sense for how this really works. So if I'll move to includes, or I'll do dynamic, and then I'll remove it. Okay. And then I'm going to do that. And then let's say I go from I'm on home and then I go to email update sign up. Whoops, there's no wrapper. It doesn't match. It doesn't look like my site. That's a wrapperless IDX Broker page. That's if you don't have the dynamic wrapper set up. Now let's say I want to go ahead and create that, because I've already created that page in WordPress. I've added the start and stop tag, and then I just paste it in. I go into log into IDX Broker, go to Designs, Wrappers, Dynamic, and then enter the URL, save changes, and I always click this just in case. And now see, this page will suddenly look exactly like my site. Okay? So now every IDX page is going to look just like my site. Now what's cool about this wrapper option is that you can get into advanced wrappers. You can do things like, this is amazing. So you can take Eugene Home Search. Let's say I wanted to create a page for Eugene Home Search that maybe has something different in it. I can do that. I can create that page, and then I can put the start and stop tags anywhere in that page to include that information. I could create my own subheader. And what happens is that would then show up in that custom link. So if I go here and I go to standard wrapper, I want to go to dynamic. And what this does is it allows me to create a page here, a URL. I plug the URL in here for Eugene Home Search. Let's say I want in the sidebar, let's say I want a widget for Eugene Homes. I want a widget that is, focused on I have stats on Eugene, and I want to put that in that custom link. You can build a page that has that in the sidebar or wherever, and then put that URL in here, save changes, and now you have a different wrapper for that custom link. So a very powerful option for those of you that want to get into some of the advanced stuff around the dynamic wrapper. Otherwise, what it does, if you're just, you just want to plug it in and have IDX and make it work, anytime you make changes to your navigation, your header, footer, whatever, it will show the correct information. So it'll automatically update. So you don't have to go into IDX Broker. You don't have to contact our support staff and say, hey, I need my navigation updated or what have you. So very powerful feature in that. So that's the dynamic wrapper. Now what I want to cover here as well is I want to get into the shortcodes and how that works. So if I want let's say I want to add system links to my page, I can do that. I can add saved links, or I can add widgets. So these are all widgets that I've created in IDX Broker, or they could be the default widgets that are provided by IDX Broker. So I can put those widgets in, and and just with a shortcode that's available, you have to go to visual here. Usually it starts out with text. Go to visual, and then you'll see our little IDX logo here at the end, and then or wherever it may be somewhere in the middle, depending on whether you have other icons or when IDX Broker Platinum was enabled. But you can add these widgets in through this tool. So pretty cool little tool for adding things to your post. And that's probably a good segue into some of the SEO aspects of IDX Broker Platinum and how to handle the SEO. And for those of you not familiar with SEO, search engine optimization, it's a very important aspect for anybody that's using WordPress. The SEO features in IDX Broker are very, very powerful, and using the widgets, using the shortcodes and the widgets in combination with custom links, and then building your own content, whether you build the custom content on your own blog posts or in the custom links in IDX Broker, or both. We actually recommend both. The most important thing is probably making sure that you have valid or very good anchor text. So, in the case of, let's just say, let's update this, and then view post. So in this case, I've just stacked one widget on top of another here using the shortcodes. But in a lot of cases, what people will do is create a page like this is a page on their site, and let's say they want to call, let's say instead of using Eugene Home Search, the custom link provided by IDX Broker, or maybe they want both, they have a Eugene neighborhood page that they want to add that's hosted on their own site, or in a folder, or what have you. So they would create a page called, or a post called Eugene Homes for Sale, and then you can create a content in here, and within the content you can link to Eugene results. So you could have Eugene results, home search results for houses over $1 million, and then make that keyword anchor text, houses over $1 million, create a hyperlink, and then that goes to a results page that is constantly updated by IDX Broker, and you can easily build that in IDX Broker with the custom links feature. So you can do a lot with SEO to, or in terms of building out search optimized pages using all the pages that are hosted by IDX Broker, and by using your WordPress installation, your WordPress blog itself. So, and one of the things you can do with all those URLs is you can actually, if we go in here, let's take a look at this is IDX Broker. We want to go to saved links. Some tremendous features here. We've got create a saved link. So in this case, I want to create a new saved link that's maybe based on map search, or let's just go with homes, next step. Now I can create a saved link that, let's say I want the keyword, I want to feature, or no, here we go, bank owned. Let's say I want bank owned properties. So I've created a bank owned search. Let's hope some properties show up here. Yeah. And look, that page that shows up, it looks just like your site because the dynamic wrapper is plugged in and ready to go. And again, that dynamic wrapper, you can review that part of the webinar after the fact if you get confused about it. There's a lot of knowledge base content about it that'll take you step by step through that process. But now we have a dynamic wrapper creating a custom page, results page, and then with this results page, you're going to get all the bank-owned listings, and you can see that you can do a test to see how many there are, and then you could go in here and you could say next step. Okay, boom. What do I want to call this? I want to call it bank-owned, right? So I call it bank-owned listings, and then you can see down here the link URL changes, bank-owned listings. I can modify the meta tag description, the meta tag keyword, so I can change that. I can call this bank-owned listings in Eugene. I won't go over this because this is a separate feature, but if you click on a link, you're gonna get one of these help icons. You'll get some help on that. And then the subheader, maybe you want a custom subheader, so maybe you want custom information to show up in that bank-owned custom link. Now, for those of you that have an office, you can assign this custom link to any agent in the office. Okay, so you could give this custom link to an agent and say, hey, send this out. And then if somebody signs up, or a lead comes in, and that lead wants information about a property, and that property is not a featured property within your office that's already been assigned to another agent, then the lead will go to that agent that you've assigned. Okay. So here I'll just save and manage links. There we go. So now you see bank-owned listings showing up there. Now what I'll do is, now that I've created that page, I'm just going to go back to, let's go back to settings, IDX Broker Platinum. Since I've got the dynamic wrapper set up, I don't have to do that again. I'll just do that once. Unless, as I said, unless you have custom links that you want wrappers for. And there we go, bank-owned listings. You can see it's linked up there. It's available now. Okay. Every time I load this page, it'll pull in all the new custom links that I've created. So I've created bank-owned listings. I save changes. Okay. And WordPress is awfully slow sometimes. And then we have, Now here we're going to go to menus, now that I've got bank-owned listings in there, and I want to add it to my custom menu. So I've created a new page. I want it in my custom menu. I've had email update sign up. I've created that. I like that. Now I want this one. So I go here, but I want to rename it. I want to give it a different keyword text because it's showing up with with the URL there. I want to call it. Let's call it REO. Bank owned. Whoops. So we'll just call it that. Capitalize this. Oh. So there. So now I save that. And when I go back, now you can see the name changed. Now if I go here and I go back to my site, there we go, REO and bank-owned listings. I click on that link, and there's my results. Okay, so you can create some very, very fine-tuned results using a what you see is what you get search form instead of having to do it, through coding or remembering the URLs and filters and so on. It can all be done from within the IDX Broker Platinum control panel, and then automatically pulled into your WordPress install. So we've created that. Now note that back to the wrapper. One of the things to note is that anytime you make a big change to your wrapper, so I've changed the URL or the navigation, I'm going to want to come in. We've created a 2-hour time delay, so anytime the dynamic wrapper changes, anytime you make a change, it takes about an hour or two for the servers to populate, but we've created a manual push so that you can tell our system, look, I just made a change to my navigation, I'm working on it, I'm making these constant changes. I want to clear the static wrapper cache and I want my navigation to look exactly the way I built it at this moment. So you don't have to delay, you don't have to wait. Now you can see the navigation on that page in the wrapper, it's been updated. Okay? So there we go. And then it goes to the link bank-owned listings. Okay? So hopefully that provides some clarity over how that works. I would just add that there's a lot of confusion generally around folders on WordPress and whether it's more desirable to have everything go into WordPress and into your own site. You sacrifice a lot by actually having that be the case because it's very difficult to create a system within WordPress that can do what IDX Broker Platinum can do with search pages and results and customization and wrappers and things like that. We have a hosted solution on the cloud that delivers pages much faster than WordPress can deliver them. The search results are much faster. The other aspect is speed. Speed is a big part of SEO. But back to the subdomain versus subfolders, there's a lot of misinformation around whether it's going to hurt you to have something on a subdomain. And this is a subdomain. This is IDX Broker. This is the subdomain that we use for our demo here. You can actually customize that subdomain. So let's say I wanted this to be, I had my website's idxbroker.com, but I want, or let's say it's #1 real estate agent in Eugene, and that's my domain. I can create a custom subdomain that says search.#1 real estate broker in Eugene.com. Okay, and then all my IDX Broker URLs will contain that. That's called a subdomain. There's a lot of misinformation around whether that's going to somehow be different or from an indexing standpoint for an SEO standpoint with search engines compared with having everything go inside of your #1 real estate agent broker in Eugene have it in the main root site. And Google has been very clear. In fact, Matt Cutts at Google has been very clear that there's no difference in the indexability of pages that are hosted on a subdomain that you own or hosted on a primary domain that you own. And in fact, if you do some of the things that I talked about here and create pages that are your own pages, you go in and create your own posts, you create your own pages, and you have in those pages, you link out to your search results and then link back to those pages from those search results. That's basically twice as many pages. So you're creating that twice as many pages that are an option there for you. And the other thing is that around that is that we have all of the clients that use the custom subdomain and build that and set that up are able to get both subdomain and custom subdomain pages indexed together in Google. So if you do a search for, site colon, and I'll show you an example. Here's a good example actually. I'll go from here. So we go Google, and let's do site colon. We'll do halja.com. So this is a good example of where we want to see how many results a client is getting. We can typically do that, and it shows how many total results Google has indexed. And as you can see, Halja is here. This is their main site, and this is more about SEO than it is about WordPress, but I wanted to highlight just how that there is really no difference in indexing between subdomain and having a subfolder. And then you go here, home.halja. This is a custom link they created in IDX Broker, and it's hosted on IDX Broker, and this is the original platform. We have a lot more that are indexed in Platinum. So we have actually Platinum clients with almost 200,000 index pages up here, not just 59. So as you can see, Google treats them both the same way. So very important point to note. So in terms of adding shortcodes, adding custom menus, admin page, basically when you get set up, you just add the API, and then you start adding navigation, and then you start adding the widgets, drag and drop the widgets in, and that's how you build your pages. And it typically takes really just a few days to get through. Few days, less than an hour to get it initially set up, and so it's a fairly quick setup. What can take time is when you want to customize it. You want to take it to the next level. And those of you that may be designers on this call, I've given you a taste for what can be done, especially with the custom wrapper, the custom link wrappers. Bio pages can also have their own wrappers. There's a tremendous amount of customization that can be done there. So let's say you want to do more. Let's say you're working in, you're new to WordPress. You want to add things. You've added the widgets. You've added the links. You've created some customization, but you want to really customize it further. We have on our partners page, and if you go to our website and just go to let's go to IDX Broker, and I'll point you towards our partners page. That's our partners page. Now here you can see all the partners, right? So you can see a list of partners that we work with. That if you're in WordPress, you get stuck, and you really want a good customization that's set up, that's done with WordPress. You'll see the WordPress text in there for expertise. One example here is Agent Evolution. They've integrated with a theme called Turnkey, and they sell a lot of those. I think they're $59.99 now. In this case, this is a fully custom site that they've built as well, so they do those as well. And what they've done is, as you can see, they've integrated with Platinum here, and really built out a custom solution that's that works well in terms of building out. Let's say these are oceanfront homes, so they built custom links in Platinum, and then they've customized the buttons and done all kinds of things there. They've customized the sidebar. So if you really are looking at taking things to the next level, I would advise looking at the partner list as well. We've got quite a few partners that work with WordPress now, and they do a great job, especially with Platinum, and they can take it to the next level. So yeah, so that's that covers most of what I wanted to cover today. If anybody has any questions, anything that they want covered, let me know now. But we've covered most of what needs to be covered around the plugin, and then if you have any questions, further questions, definitely send those to either the sales team. You can send that to info@idxbroker.com. You can call our phone number here. It's at the top, 800-421-9668. Somebody can talk to you about WordPress and any questions that you may have. If you're in this webinar because you're curious about how to take your Platinum plugin to the next level, you can also call us and ask for support. You can review the Platinum knowledge base here. Click on that. And then if you don't find your answers there, you can always call support, or you can email help@idxbroker.com. Okay. So if you have any questions for me after the webinar, please send those to webinars@idxbroker.com, and I'll try to get back to you today. And I believe that we've covered most of the material that we need to cover today, and I appreciate your attendance, and have a great day.